Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name's Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for joining the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami, powered by 786 Sports. Thank you to our chief Heron Heads, Chow and Marivi. Thank you for your continued generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can find a link in the description wherever you are listening, along with some other fun links, like a link to our Discord server and our merch store. So check those out if you're interested. But today we will be previewing perhaps the biggest match in Inter Miami history as we take on PSG in the round of 16 of the Club World Cup. But before we get to that, we welcome back to the show Dave, Chris, and Jose, who all three were at the last match against Palmeiras. So Jose is dying to tell us about his experience. So let's throw it to Jose.
Yeah, I mean, what's up, guys? Yeah,
Howdy.
so I was pretty excited. I went with Dave and Chris. They sat in a different section than me. I didn't
Very
want to sit
different
in the supporter section. I didn't want to do that.
Jose was in the bougie club level.
Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, so I
And
was
Dave and I
basically
were
like,
partying. We were partying with the Brazilians in the Palmeiras supporter section. That was fun.
right. So I was there watching them over there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be back. But no, it was very fun. It was very lively. What's fun about it, and that's the whole point of like why we wanted to go in the first place, and we definitely understand like we got the amount of support that comes with these clubs from South America. You see it on TV, but very different to experience it. They're chanting the whole game. They were singing and dancing the whole game. Giving me a headache, to be honest. But I appreciate them for that. But at the same time, I was like, can we score a goal to shut them up? And that we did. So I was very appreciative, particularly on the Luis Suarez one. I would say that's when they really were very quiet, and that was nice.
And
Let me
there's
tell you-
levels. There's levels to the noise and the chant and all that stuff. Because like when it comes to like if we're being honest, when we go to Inter Miami matches in our stadium, our La Familia is loud. They're cheering. They're singing. They have the banners. They have the streamers. They have everything. But and like I said, there's levels to it. So I remember thinking, man, this is like I would always say, man, I don't know if I can handle just being in like the Inter Miami supporter section. Then lo and behold, we buy these mystery tickets that end up being in the supporter section of Palmeiras, and that's when you notice that there are true levels to the experience because we are seeing and we got to see it firsthand because not only are we in the Palmeiras section, but we're completely facing the other direction and seeing the Inter Miami's supporter section. And whoa, everything there was levels, the chance, and also you can tell this is a club with 100 years of establishment, so they have
No
a
doubt.
true culture. Like everybody knows the songs, everybody has not just their song chants, but just normal chants for the players themselves. When it comes to banners, they all come super well equipped. We came to the stadium, there were plastic bags taped to the chairs, and we didn't know if it was like to cover for the rain. And then lo and behold, it's like a human tifo. Everybody brings up their thing. They were like telling us to raise it, and we're like, no, we will not do it. We don't want any part of this. And people were already getting mad at us. And then we see Inter Miami on the far side with the little flags. We're like, yeah, we have flags. And then like after
At halftime.
after
Yeah.
halftime,
We also had
they start
flags.
handing out these monstrous flags. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
They have
man,
big
it was
trash
so-
bags full of flags and like not flags, like flags.
Yeah, it's like never have I ever felt so inadequate. Where I see Inter Miami with like their little flags, and these guys are coming out with the huge banners, every single one of them. I'm like, Jesus Christ! And then when you think it's over, then they bring out the streamers that come from the bottom all the way up, and I'm trying to watch this game like that. Exactly. It's just it was fun to be a part of, but like, man. Exactly.
There's a
That
fox in the hen house. It's Chris.
face says it all. It was rough, but you know what? It made for a great environment. For the most part, all the fans were gracious. You could tell they were heated. Being down 2-0 most of the match, you can see them being upset, and then the fervor kicking in when they equalized was insane. The only issue that I had with the fan was on our first goal, I was waving my pink little sweat cloth around, and some fan, I don't know if it was directly behind me or 2 rows behind me, but grabbed it and tossed it, and I was just like, Jesus! But luckily, I got it back from another Inter Miami fan. But man, I think Chris has another little anecdote to say about the experience too.
Yeah, so I mean, so David mentioned when they scored, when they scored the first goal, Jose said there's levels and this and that. Look, when we scored our first goal, they were still loud. I think they're even louder than when they started. When we scored the second
Didn't
goal,
hear him from my section. I was
we heard them loud and clear. Let me tell you, when they scored the second goal, when we scored the second goal, then that's when they kind of all calmed down. They stopped waving their giant flags and all that stuff. Everyone was kind of like a little calm, and all of a sudden they scored. And guys, I was telling you guys on the way back, I have never felt that stadium. And we've been there for Super Bowls, for playoff games, for the NFL. We've been there for a bunch of different events. I've never felt that Hard Rock Stadium shake in my life. And when they scored, that place erupted and they started jumping and cheering and screaming, and the stands were shaking. I was like, holy crap, like this is legit. This is nothing like we've ever been a part of. And this is only a little section of Palmeiras supporter section. I mean, imagine their home stadium when this is the whole thing doing it.
Must be nuts.
And then it must be nuts. And then they scored the second goal, and that place went absolutely crazy. Liquid, water, all kinds of things flying in the air, just crazy.
It's flying at Chris.
And honestly, it was really cool.
Liquid's flying at Dave. He was like, "What's happening?"
Chris had to take off his glasses and wipe them off.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it was awesome. It's cool because I mean, it's not like they're any sort of rival to us or we have anything to do with them. So it was a different experience. If it was like Orlando City, I would hate myself for being there. But it was just a cool experience. The fans were super cool for the most part. They all shook our hands. They gave us high fives at the end and all that. It was cool, man. I enjoyed it. It was funny that we got those tickets, but I enjoyed it.
We could have used Jose because at the end they were trying to talk to us, but true Brazilian fashion, they were speaking Portuguese, and man, I wish Jose was here to translate for us.
It's true.
Heron Heads
translated.
Yeah.
You know what I said to them in Brazil in Portuguese? You know what I told them? I just told them, "Good game."
It's good.
And it's funny because at the end of the game, how were the exits? You could tell they
crazy.
You felt like they won the game on the way out.
Yeah. The spirals coming all the way down. Whoever hasn't been to Hard Rock, every corner has a spiral coming down to go back to your car or whatever. And they're just cheering, the top of their lungs, screaming with their flags and this and that, like if they just won
just
like if they just won the group.
Exactly,
yeah,
like they just
like that,
advanced to the top of the group.
Yeah. Like it's funny though, because like there was a guy I heard this to conversation that's happening around me. Two conversations were interesting actually. One was, this guy is too old, he sucks, he can't defend, he can't score, he can't do anything. And then I turned around and said, "Who you talking about, Luis Suarez?" He said, "Yeah, absolutely." And then right after he hit the banger of the shot and he scored, and they subbed him out. And then that same guy said, "This game's over, 2-0. They can't do it."
He knows ball. We should have him on.
He ruined it. It was his
the
fault.
new Dave Stradamus.
Guy just jinxed it, man. And then the other one was he was just asking, he's like, "Why doesn't Inter Miami have any of these like songs like Palmeiras has, right?" And it's funny, a guy answered him and he says, "These songs have been happening for 100 years.
Hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years. These guys, they were singing this when they were kids." So when you heard them singing and chanting, you could tell that came from their soul.
Oh, they meant it, dude. In the supporter section, you see all walks of life. You see older people, women, children, teenagers. Every type of person was there in that supporter section, and they were giving it their all. Like these guys, it was hot and humid, and these guys were just letting it all out. And that is impressive to see such a wide variety of people really, really getting at it.
And to be clear, the supporter section does have music and chants, but like you said, it's not like you guys have been chanting it for generations.
I was next to the supporter section. I couldn't hear our fans sing. They were just so much louder.
Jose, usually you go after the other team's fans. Now Palmeiras has turned you.
So I couldn't even hear our fans. They're so
Nah,
quiet.
they're there.
Sing on their
showed up.
behalf, Jose.
Also,
It's
like I will
embarrassing.
say,
Our fans
that
showed
they're
up. Our fans were there. It was. I mean, it's just a humongous.
no, but I will say that the
stadium,
Palmeiras chants were extremely catchy, and I
They
found
were.
myself like
We both did.
Palmeira, Palmeira. It was like, damn it. So I was quiet, but I was just like,
Just bouncing.
also we're winning too most of the match, so it was like I'm kind of jamming. The music's cool. We're up 2-0,
Yeah.
and it all came apart.
Not all of it.
Bittersweet.
Not all of it.
Bittersweet, and it leads us to the next round, and it leads us to this podcast that we're doing about PSG. Did you know, Julio?
Damn.
Damn, right?
Go on.
Did you
Transition
know
into
that
did you
this
know?
is the first ever time Messi plays an ex team officially?
I did not know that.
Go on.
Cool. Did you know
Yeah.
that Inter Miami is the only MLS team to ever defeat European competition in a FIFA tournament? Or in
Yeah,
a
I knew
FIFA
that.
competition.
Yeah, I knew that. You need better.
How about that?
It is
Did
nice.
you know that Inter Miami is the first MLS club to continue on to the round of 16?
Well, yeah,
about
he
that?
already. Okay, yeah, I guess.
You know, that's not the same.
No, you're right. You're right. It's not the same.
Yeah.
I know, but not really.
Did you know?
I also
Did you
knew.
know?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you know? But did you know that Messi is 4-3-3 against PSG in his career?
With Barcelona.
No, with PSG. Yes, with Barcelona.
Quite the difference there. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. Also very sad for the Sounders and LAFC, fourth in their respective groups. We're carrying the torch for MLS.
Yeah.
How about that?
At least LAFC got a point last night. So there's that, right?
I guess
there's that. Are you guys happy that we got PSG out the group instead of Botafogo? Because
Yes.
I am.
To give you a short answer, like everybody was saying, oh no, we're gonna fight PSG. I'm like, look, it was gonna be a tough mountain to climb regardless. So there's just the storylines line up better for PSG. Like
Let's
you
get
have
the big dogs
Messi,
out of the way.
Messi versus his old team, Champions League winner against us, and like that's the most underdog that you can be. And also, worst case scenario, we get bounced. I'd rather lose and get knocked out by the champions of Europe than Botafogo. Like let's be real. Like if you're gonna lose to somebody, I'd rather lose to PSG. So that's my take. And also like if we beat them, we're the champions of Europe now.
Right. You've heard it
Play
here
for
first.
pink slips.
That's right.
Give us that trophy.
We'll give you our League Cup if you. But if
No,
we
no,
win,
no. They can have the supporter shield.
all right. You take our supporter shield. Whatever last trophy each of us got, pink slip.
There you go. There you go.
Now,
Right
we'll
after the
say
match.
it's-
Right after the
it's-
match, I'm gonna be like, yeah, with the
some of the
Champions League
to answer your question, Julio, some of the just the tape that we've been watching, and it's funny. I was talking before we started the show about I was just salivating watching Man City. Just what an incredible team! Just it's all like when it all clicks for Man City, it's very scary. And I saw a lot of that also when I was watching PSG versus Atletico Madrid.
Jose,
And-
you know how for like 15-20 minutes of every match it's hold on to your butts time?
Yeah.
It's hold on to your butts time
The
the
whole game,
second
man.
kickoff starts.
Well,
But that's how Palmeiras felt. Like from the moment we
No.
started, I was like, yes.
Different.
Being in that stadium, I was like, this is gonna stink.
On
And I'm
TV,
like, here we
it
go.
didn't feel that way though because we came out with a lot of control. They let us have a lot of control in the first half. So for the first 10-12 minutes, we had plenty of control. It's not going to be that way against PSG.
I'm saying if they play controlled, I think and we have anybody's chance.
I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying it's going to be hold on to your butts time more than we've ever felt.
This is what look,
This
more
tournament
so,
has
let's
all
put
been
that into
hold on to
better-
your butts. The further we've gotten,
Yeah, it's going to be.
The thing is that
there's
holding on to your
levels.
butts
There's
and, like,
levels.
it's also like what I noticed watching the tape was these guys would just make you pay straight up. They're gonna make you pay. So whenever Ustadi in the last game, I saw these 2 or 3 times when Ustadi had some terrible plays, just where we luckily it didn't bite us in the butt. It was kind of early in the game. I don't know if you guys recall, but it's one of those that I don't think if you do it against PSG, it's going to screw us. This is what it is.
And
Luis Suarez
against
had one.
Palmeiras?
Yeah, Luis Suarez also had one on the side when he tried to put it towards the middle of and he kicked it into our box. Very scary pass. It worked out, but there's another one that didn't work out, and it was in that weird area. I'm worried about those kind of plays when I'm assuming they're going to press us high. I think we're going to have space, just similar to all the other games that we've had. Obviously, we're playing harder teams, right? But I'm excited that we're still going to be playing in that format, right? Where we're going to be able to play football, right? We're going to be able to pass the ball around. And I still think we're going to be able to get ours.
They're not going to sit back for sure.
No,
they're not going to sit back. So we're going to have opportunities because I don't think we suck. So
there's also the factor.
Agreed.
There's a factor of they're not. These guys are not going to be in awe of Messi. Even against Palmeiras, like Estevao came out and said that his legs were shaking when the game started because he's never been on the same pitch as someone like Messi. So he had the jersey swap with Messi after the match, and he's a Chelsea signing, so he'll be in blue soon. But that's really, really cool because you're still seeing Messi affect the game in more ways than one. But that's not going to be the case. There's some former teammates of his now, and also these guys have played against him in different levels. So it's not something that's going to have anybody shook.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be the exact opposite of any of that, of the shaking and all that stuff. It's going to be Messi wants to beat PSG because of their past. Luis Enrique is very familiar with these guys, so he's coaching them up to what he knows, to the big four in our team. And there's players in PSG too that just want to get the best of Messi. So it's very different than the opposite of what we saw when Messi first got into MLS. I think it's the complete opposite. I think they played against this guy, they played against all these guys, and they just want to get the best of them and just just kick them to the ground.
Do you think there would be like bad blood in a sense? Because and I asked this because on the whole way out, we all know everything Messi said on the way out. Okay, and we not one interview, a few interviews where he basically said that was a terrible time for him, and everyone agrees that he was just not having a good time, from the fans throwing eggs at his house, etc. It wasn't a fun time for him. So it's one of those things where I'm curious if there is a little bit of animosity there.
I think it's a one-way road.
From Messi to PSG, yes,
right.
But not from PSG to Messi. Like not from the players.
Right.
Because the players, I mean, PSG's roster is not the same roster as when Messi was there just 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be a one-way hate street in that case. Yeah. And even Mascherano said in his press conference, I think yesterday, the day before, that Messi's probably going to play a little differently. Messi plays a little tougher, a little bigger when he has that and he gets into that mode and he's a little angry. He has that chip on his shoulder. So we may see a little bit of a different Messi come on Sunday. And the other three guys too, they want to prove something against their old coach as well.
I don't know about Suarez.
I don't know what else he could do.
You know what? I do think that we play up to our competition though. We know what we do. Also, we play down to our competition as well. To be honest, it goes both ways. Like the team that we've seen in like the last 3 games. I mean, guys, we saw the MLS play. It was terrible going into this game. We had that one or last 2 games, the Columbus game, but besides that, it was very sad. It was a very sad showing, and we're very disgruntled with how they were playing. It was up and down. This has been a different team. This isn't the team that we've been watching.
Yeah, and I remember we talked about this previewing the whole tournament. When teams don't sit back against us, we can play and we can look better than we've looked against the MLS, because when we have a really hard time breaking down that low block, and when teams don't sit in the low block, we look way more competent, right? Like we look like we can actually hang. So in that sense, we rise up, but it's just a better suited game for us to play. So yeah, I mean, these guys are obviously going to give it their best, and it'll be a game style that suits us. It's interesting to see that we're going to have to be forced to play a little bit like counterattack ball. I don't know if you knew this, Jose, but did you know that PSG has averaged over 73% possession per game?
I read that earlier.
So prepared. That's why I say hold on to your butts the whole game, because PSG is going to have the ball in our probably third, the whole match. So it's gonna be really important to get the opportunities that we saw against Palmeiras when Allende got in behind on multiple occasions. We saw, Suarez is gonna have to go and try to play off the back shoulder of some of these players, and he's gotta have to time it right. There's probably
not our game at all.
At all, which is why I'm saying it's going to be really interesting to see, because even though it's probably going to be a little bit more spread out when we do get the ball, PSG is going to have the ball a lot. So can we generate turnovers and capitalize on a counterattack opportunity?
Well,
can Allende get in behind? Can Fafa get in behind?
That's the one thing Allende has shown me in this tournament, that he can do it. He can do it. We haven't tried it.
He's playing how he was when he first got here before his injury. That's how he's playing in this tournament.
It's amazing what space can do.
Right.
And when he gets space, then Donnarumma's waiting for him.
That's right.
As long as Allende is the one on the counter, and the ball hasn't found itself on the foot of Luis Suarez, because there's no counter.
Suarez is doing a hard break, turning around like he always does.
Go.
Yeah. He waits for Allende to go. Okay, here you go. He can be all alone, like we've seen. Like, unless it was like that last goal that he had when he's.
Well, that's not a breakaway. He just had to beat 3 guys.
Hey, if we had the red cam on Luis Suarez, do you imagine?
It was amazing.
Like a bull in a china shop.
That's what he's like was known for. Like if you're in that area, nobody's gonna deny him. It's just he's not running away with the ball. Like, he's not outrunning anyone.
No, he's a very slow bull in the China shop. And Julio, I'm glad you said that, because it was actually the stats that I was going to bring up. There's 4 things to show the dominance that PSG has had this tournament. This is just this tournament. This is not league play. So you already said it, 73% possession rate. That's number 1 in the competition. 11.3 passes per possession, number 1 in the competition. 104.3 progressive passes per game, first in the competition. That's in the attacking side. On the defensive side, the only defensive stat I got, 6.9 passes allowed per defensive action, first in the competition as well. So as much space as we may get, we'll see how many passes we could actually complete against this defense. We've seen what we could do with space, but this is a whole different animal. I know we've said it that with space we were a little better and we could do this and that, but man, this is going to be a test for sure.
The ultimate thing is we have to protect the ball. That's what I'm looking at. Just crisp passing, not which we didn't do bad with Palmeiras, to be honest. Ultimately, like there was a lot of passes where they forced us to thread the needle. We did. There was some nice tiki taka that we had that I hadn't seen us do in a while, and we have to do it. If we want to advance against these teams, we're going to have to be incredible. This is what it is. Can we be incredible in spurts and past the 60-minute mark? That's the thing.
That's huge.
Past the 60-minute mark, can we still be the same team that we were in the first half? Because that's what it's been. I don't know why the trend has been totally different teams.
And by the way, PSG's done all this without the star player, without Dembele on the pitch this whole tournament. He's been training, from what I've read. They're still not sure if he's going to be on there. He may or may not, but he has been training. So, man, if he's out there, I mean, this is going to elevate this team to the sky. There's no other thing to say there.
And I saw Botafogo, when we saw the Botafogo match, their goalkeeper played lights out. So it's one of those things where we're going to need that from Mustadi. We're going to need keeper sweeper. We're going to need every possible thing that he can bring to the table. We need it.
He's had a good tournament.
Huh?
He's had a good tournament.
Well, he's going to need to continue that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say it may be very obvious, but also we can't concede the first goal. We can't get into a position where we're chasing the game, because then it's just going to snowball. Mm-hmm. And if we have to open up for Martial, that we're inevitably going to have to fall into, it's going to get ugly quick, I think. So as best as we can, obviously scoring first is always advantageous, but we desperately need to be the ones that get on the scoreboard first, because otherwise I think it could be a long night.
I think we can be both. I think we can be the Botafogo to them as well. I can see it going. I can see it going like Atletico Madrid, and I can totally see it going like Botafogo. Like it could be either. It can, it has to get in the mud. I think
it happens, man. Upsets happen all the time. All the time they happen, and it's just a matter of you gotta play to your strengths, and you gotta play smart, precise, and get the basics like down pat. Like you can't mess up on the easy things. You can mess up on things that you're trying and really like pushing the boundaries on, but you can't mess up the easy things, the little short passes, the easy saves, just playing smart and take chances, and you can mess up on the chances, but when it's down to like the easy stuff, you got to get it perfect.
Yep. What would you say are the things that you guys are like looking at the most in this game? Like if we do this, don't say score more goals, that's stupid. If we do this, we'll win the game.
If we can keep them to the outside, I think if we allow them to play in the, like if for example, if Chelo and Alba can hold the players that they're matched up against outside, I think that will help us a lot. PSG take a lot of corners, so that's an area of concern. So obviously, like minimizing set pieces, so not taking stupid fouls and protecting the wings, like making sure that things stay outside. Don't allow them to get to the byline. Don't give up easy corner opportunities.
Does Alba start?
I'm curious of like the starting lineup.
I think he practiced in full today.
Yeah, so that's what I'm curious about. Is like
Alba.
If you have Alba starting, who takes a seat? Is it Toto? Does Toto take a seat? Because I feel like against this team more than ever, you kind of want that height in the middle there to protect against those corners. So does Allen take a seat? Like, what are we doing here? It's gonna be a tough decision for Mascherano.
A healthy Jordi Allen rather than any of these guys.
No, I know. Jordi Allen is healthy. He has to play.
The question is, who do you bench between Toto and Noah? And
I feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable, and it's crazy we're saying this. I feel more comfortable with Noah Allen's speed out there on Sunday.
I think Noah Allen at center back is going to be a big problem defending against this team.
Bro, so is Toto. Straight up.
It just depends what you kind of want to try to stop, right? What do you want to take away from them?
Toto's had a fantastic tournament. As far as I'm concerned, like he's played very well.
And to a certain extent, you also have to say what's our route to success. Is it having Allen out there, or is it having Toto out there? Do we gear up just to defend the corner, but how does that leave us more open when a ball gets played over the top and someone's got to chase it down and it's not going to be Toto? Mm-hmm. So you have to pick your poison. I mean, there's all over the pitch is going to be pick your poison.
Yeah. I would say that, like, to answer the question I posed, if we flip the script on them and we have 63%, we play our style of possession game.
There's no way.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. That's what if we do that, I can see us winning.
I'm gonna bring that down.
I don't know. I don't know if it suits us. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. Goes back to the stats that I brought out. They're allowing 6 point whatever passes per defensive matchup. I think if we could pinpoint our passing, make it a little more accurate, not have 70% possession or any of that, but just hold the ball a little longer, complete our passes correctly, and try to find the right lane, the right runs, the right holes. I think that'll be the best way to break them down. But to meet them head to head with possession, or to beat them in possession, it's going to be very difficult.
I think if we're able to get like 10 points back off that possession percentage split, right? Like if we're able to get it to like 35% possession or more, I think that will be obviously much better. Like no one wants to have the ball only 25% of the time. Like you're literally just sitting back the whole match. But if we're able to like chip away at that and cut into that, I think, then we're looking better.
Because I don't want to be getting I don't want to be in our third trying to defend them the whole game. That's
it's a recipe for disaster. It's
a recipe for disaster, right? So if I just feel like, okay, well, if we try to get it away from them a little bit, right? However we can, we can. We're not going to beat them in a shootout. It's not going to happen. So it needs to be like a Botafogo 1-0.
Yeah.
Straight up, it
And-
has. That's the only recipe that we'll win.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that this morning. I was like, what are the Doctor Strange, like, out of however billion outcomes, there's only one where we win. But I think there's two possible routes, right? There's the win 1-0 and like just it would be the most stressful thing that you've ever experienced in your life, or it's a draw and it goes to penalties, and then it's then it's a coin flip.
Yeah, Pedri, that's what I was mentioning earlier. Dembele's been back training and it's still questionable, but from what I've read, he's leaning towards playing on Sunday, which would just be a complete game changer there.
Good, because if we beat them, I don't want to hear that
He's gonna be rusty.
Yeah. I don't want to hear that he wasn't in and we're going to beat you with if he played now.
No, but we don't have Ian Frey, so it all balances out.
And on our side, I was going to say we don't have Ian Frey. We don't have Yannick Bright yet. He still hasn't been cleared. So that's going to be another big thing with possession and passing and all that stuff. That those two guys are Frey's.
Go ahead, say it. They are
Frey's very good on defense, but he could definitely help with attack. He could definitely hold the ball with his size, his length. Yannick Bright is our enforcer, and he hasn't been here in a long time. So not having him out there is going to hurt. It's going to be Redondo again. We'll probably see Bangha to some extent as well, like we've been seeing him in that defensive mid. So we'll see. We are hurt though.
Even reinforcing our defense, like look at what happened to us against Palmeiras. Like we missed having those guys out there. Like the substitutions that we made felt overwhelmingly offensive substitutions because we just didn't have our quality defensive subs, and that's something that, like, if we do get out to an early lead, and these guys with their high possession ball, like you really would like to have some of those extra bodies in there, and we don't have them. So it's really gonna be that everybody has to come together and have a very sound match and conserve their energy because it's going to be a tough one.
Yep. I don't think he'll be ready for Sunday's match, but Yannick Bright did train separately from the group at training today. So just for Inter Miami long term, he's starting to get back on the training pitch, which is great.
Great for the next round.
That's right.
After we win. Who in on the other side, who are you guys looking for Inter Miami? What player specifically do you want to see them take the next step Sunday?
Oof, I mean, it's gotta be like the role players. It's gotta be Allende. It's gotta be. I mean, Ustadi's gonna be massive in this game. Like a lot will hinge on his performance, but I think Allende and the guys that are up in midfield around the players that are used to this level of competition, how will they perform against these players? I mean, it's gonna be super interesting. Like I'm really looking forward to seeing like Benja against Fabian Ruiz and these guys in the midfield, and like how is Chelo gonna survive against Kavika? Like it's gonna be wild.
I want to see that.
Alba versus I think Hakimi, right? Hakimi's on his side.
Yeah,
he's defensive.
That's so fun.
Yeah, they'll both bomb up at each other though.
Oh, for sure. That's gonna be so fun.
I want to see Redondo. Because the last match that he played, I thought Redondo was probably one of the best matches we've seen him play in a long, long time. If he can build on that performance and really see him bang elbows, no pun intended, but bang elbows with these midfielders, I feel like his size and ball skills might be able to find a little space for this team. And
imagine
if he can win some of those battles, that I think that'll be huge.
Like this is where he shines of all times. This is
what he needed.
He needed
the eyeballs on him.
I want to see Segovia, man. I thought he had. I don't know what his rating was. I didn't check anything.
The second least of the match.
Yeah, but I still thought he had a very good game last match. He didn't do all the flashy things or whatever, but you saw him constantly get back. You saw him help on defense. He was very good with the ball, in my opinion. He was playing a little bit of a different role that we've been seeing. He was taking the ball up a lot in the middle of the pitch. So he was kind of doing that dirty work in the midfield, box to box, than what we've seen him do lately. So I want to see Segovia do a lot of the same, but take that next step. Create a little more in the midfield, get the ball to Messi, get the ball to Allende, and really create those big plays that are going to allow us to score.
Yeah, Brad, Suarez. We don't expect Suarez to. He says Suarez isn't touching the box for a kickoff. He scored a golazo last game, but damn, asking him to press PSG players is delusional. Yeah, I agree. I don't think any of us expect him to press a PSG
I expect him to press. And
Yeah,
it's
not
gonna look
effectively.
hilarious.
Not effectively.
with the cam. Just imagine we're gonna see his limp. We're gonna see his limp like live cam, just like.
I want it to be like one of those that shows his own face, so you see like.
But in fisheye.
Yeah, like when they put a camera on a cat.
Yeah,
have her run around.
So do you guys?
No, we don't expect that.
Do you guys think we score a goal?
Oh yeah,
I think we do.
Yeah.
Out of respect for Messi.
No, screw that. Listen, thanks for reminding me. Quote of the day. You guys want to hear the quote of the day that just really infuriated me?
I would love to.
Put it on a poster.
Ben Hakamatsky. He said, "We have nothing to lose." I find it annoying. What do you guys think? I don't think you guys do, but I do.
I agree. I mean, nobody expected before this tournament started. Nobody expected Inter Miami not only to advance to this stage, but to really put up much of a fight. Remember, we had a pretty rough run of play leading up to this tournament. We looked a little bit in shambles, and we couldn't figure out how to find the back of the net. And then this tournament started, and as it's gone on, we've seen to have found our footing. So not only advancing to the group of 16, but being the only MLS team to advance and beating a European team and showing a very good showing for 85 minutes against one of the top Brazilian league teams. Like this group has now they gained confidence and they are playing on borrowed time. So I think that they do feel good, and it's true. They feel good about what they've accomplished to this point. So they're going out there with a knife in their mouth and saying, "Let's go. Whatever happens, happens."
I agree. It's super annoying. I mean, we saw what Busquets said in the beginning, which we all agreed with. Like we're like, all right, we're getting into this tournament. We're like the 4th ranked in our group. Like, what are we really gonna do here, right? But we proved everybody wrong, and now to go to the next round and still have kind of that mentality. That's super annoying to hear from our players. You don't want to really hear that.
I don't want to hear it,
but
man.
Maybe he meant it in a different way, but that comes off horrible from him. So hopefully he has a different attitude and he's positive going into that match, and we see something different.
It's been the voice, the kind of quotes that I've been hearing from our team, though. It's not just him. Like I think Noah Allen after the game, he was
I think you guys are taking it the wrong way. I think they see themselves as an underdog.
I want us to go in there. We're going in. We're the people that in there too, in the same rink, and we want to
they're going up against the champions of Europe. You don't think that they feel like they're the underdog?
Of course, we're the underdog. Of course, we're the underdog. Of course, we're the underdog. But all that I'm saying is that, like, damn it, go in there and I want to kick some ass.
They're not surrendering. That's not what they're saying.
I'm thinking they're happy to be there.
Yeah, you want to be offended? You be offended. Be a little snowflake. That's not what they're saying.
I think it could be coming from a place of like, we have nothing to lose, so we have nothing to be afraid of. So there's no intimidation here because there's nothing to be intimidated about. What's the worst that can happen? We're gonna lose like everyone thinks we're gonna lose. Great, cool. Like we're gonna go stun the world. I take it. I'm good with him saying that because I agree. Inter Miami has nothing left to prove that won't be out of the ordinary. Like if they win, it's gonna be incredible. Like we'll never let anybody forget it. Like cocky Inter Miami fan will be at its peak at that moment.
We'll have a new trophy.
I'm gonna tell you, if we win,
the Champions League.
Right. So I take it as just like, yeah, we have nothing to lose, so we're gonna give it our all. Like there's not gonna be any embarrassment if we lose to PSG 6-0. Like it's gonna suck watching it, but it's gonna be like we gotta go for it, right? Like there's no just like getting through this and playing to a draw. Like we're gonna have to go after it.
Speaking of go after it, plus $175 for anybody that wants to go after the tickets. That's the cheapest seats in Atlanta if you want to go. Also, if you want to go after it betting wise, we are plus 1,200 to win, plus 600 to tie, and minus 500 for PSG to win.
Man, the odds have gotten longer since I placed my bet earlier today.
Dave bought in at 1,100.
Yeah.
For those of you that can't make it to the game, the Heron Heads will be doing a watch along for this match. So please join us on Sunday. We'll be starting the stream right around kickoff time. So if you guys will not be at the game, just pop us on your phone while you're watching the game on the TV or vice versa. And join us and watch us react to all the action. I'm sure it'll be lots of fun.
We're gonna be boozing. We're gonna be winning, and yeah, it would have been so much easier to say boozing and losing.
Just some balls and brews, Jose.
It's balls and brews.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We'll be in studio. It's been a while since we've all been together for a match, so that'll be fun. And this time, every time that we're together for a match, it's usually one of our watch parties that only local fans can really participate. But this way, all of you guys who are watching at home can watch along with us. And these chats always feel like we're a group chat and we're here just kind of mixing it up. And that way, we can actually be watching a game in reality together, and you can kind of see how we interact with each other as well. So I think it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, you can be happy together or cry together.
Either way, tears of sadness together. Or tears of joy.
Yeah. So there you go.
So, anyways, is Dave Stradamus in the building?
We have a special Dave Stradamus today because
we have a media presentation for him. No,
we're gonna have. Captain Dave Stradamus is back.
Double whammy.
Because we need all the help we can get for this one. It's all hands on deck. We have Peluca, Captain Dave Stradamus. We're all going in. And the recipe for winning this one, you guys nailed it. You had to hit the nail on the head earlier. A 1-0 truly hold your butt victory for Inter Miami. We're going to pull it off. Clean sheet and a messy goal. And that's how it's done.
I'm rooting for I'm looking at a 1-1 tie, and it goes to PKs, I think, right? And then from there, I think it's just gonna be a very fun, just Kremaski walk off. Have we seen that?
Can you imagine that?
Ustadi versus Donnarumma.
We got nothing to lose, baby.
Boop boop boop.
You know what? I'm gonna go a little higher than all of you. I'm gonna go with a 3-2 win for Inter Miami. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go out there.
You just went against everything you said. You're like, oh, we can't win a shootout.
Huh? I didn't say that. When did I say that? We can't win in a shootout. When did I say that?
I thought we all agreed that was like the worst case scenario. If it gets
we're gonna win
shootout,
3-2. We're gonna win 3-2. Messi's gonna score a brace. Velasco Segovia. It's gonna get another goal. That's it.
All right. Well, I'll keep it real. We're gonna lose 4-1. And whatever, it's gonna be fun.
All right.
That's all I got.
So what was it? 1-0, 3-2, 4-1. What'd you say, Jose?
1-1.
1-1, and we win the shootout.
Julio, who scores your goal?
Ustadi. No, I'll go with let's see who will score our goal. I'll say Allende.
Pedri, I put $10.
Pedri, absolutely. Yeah. We're heavy gamblers here.
Dave put $10 on Inter Miami, and now the odds shifted and got longer, so he's gonna try to cash out and redo
I'm gonna put more money on it.
Yeah, Pedri, I think we'll all put money on it just for fun.
The odds are incredible. Plus 1,200 for Inter Miami to win.
They were, by the way, plus 700 to advance. So whether it be by winning in regulation or advancing on penalties,
it's not bad. No bad.
That was before they shifted, so I don't know if that's changed.
Look, if you put, just so you know, Pedri, if you put $5 on an Inter Miami win with Messi scoring anytime goal scorer, you could put $5 on that. You're gonna get $75 back. Incredible, easy money.
You have nothing. Money. You have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose,
except for those $5.
If you go PSG minus 2.5, it's plus 150. How about that?
Oh.
Correct score. Yeah. PSG to win 4-1 plus 1,200. How about that?
What about 1-0 Inter Miami?
1-0 Inter Miami plus 4,000.
Ooh,
it's pretty good.
I think she's not happening, but
yeah, I might have to put a couple of shekels in there.
That is what people do, Pedri. They put money on the other team. The opposite team. We're not smart here. You know,
speak for yourself.
We're going for glory here. You know what I'm saying?
This isn't ooze smart to you. What are you talking about?
You think that Peluca just bought itself? All right, guys. Anything else you want to add before we go off into the night?
Make sure to join us for the watch along. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be in studio, 786 studio. So yeah, look out for us there. Hopefully we'll do some more things over there too.
And we'll have a match reaction after. Most likely.
Yes, it'll be like a separate episode, but for sure.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see you guys on Sunday. It should be a lot of fun, regardless of the outcome. And we will see you then. So have a good night, y'all. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami, powered by 786 Sports. We'll see you later.